Hi, I'm Justin Jensen, and welcome to my channel. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and may fall again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. Teddy Roosevelt. Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. Today is December 14th, 2022, 4:49 p.m. on the East Coast. While you guys are just coming in, if you don't mind, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I would really appreciate your subscription. So, just breaking just a few minutes ago, Leilani Simon, 19 counts, 19 counts. And I found out maybe 20 minutes ago. I was in the shower and I hurried up and got ready real quick. And so we're going to look at it. You're seeing this with me the first time if you haven't seen it yet. So, Leilani Simon facing 19 counts indictment, including felony murder. So it's been an active week, I guess you could say, with the, with Billy Joe and Leilani. Savannah, Georgia, Leilani Simon has been indicted by the Chatham County Grand Jury on charges of death, disposal, concealment, among other charges, of her 20-month-old son, Quentin Simon, on Wednesday, facing 19 counts for her 20-month-old son. I wish they would find one more count to get her on. That way, it would be 20 counts for her 20-month-old son. District Attorney Shalina Cook Jones held a press conference at the Chatham County Courthouse at 4 p.m. We're going to find that, and we're going to go over that in just a moment, to explain the nature of the charges and update the public on the status of the investigation. According to the district attorney, Simon is facing a 19-count indictment, including 1 count of malice murder for the intentional killing of Quentin Simon and 2 counts of felony murder. They're not playing around. They're not clearly playing around with her. Let's do this. Let's go to Twitter and let's see if we can. I don't know. Maybe Assie already sent it to me. I bet you she did. Yeah. Let's look here. What am I doing? Leilani. Betcha. Okay. All right, here we go. Thank you so much. I appreciate your super chat, Chemistry Queen. Did you see Brett Buffington's Twitter? The that which beat him with it. Okay, let's go look at that. What do you mean beat him with an object? What? Okay. According to, make sure y'all can see this. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Chemistry Queen. I appreciate your support. According to Leilani Simon's 8-page indictment, Leilani beat Quentin Simon with an object causing, quote, cruel and excessive pain, causing the 20-month-old's death. I don't know why I was thinking, I thought you meant like they try to abuse the Brett for some reason. You fucking bitch. Holy shit, guys. Holy shit. Let's see if we can find that indictment. I mean, I see you may have already sent it to me. But okay, let's go to let's see if that's gonna give us anything. I am shaking, guys. I was not expecting that. All right. All right, I found it.
Stir. It's a new way to watch TV.
Wow. So upsetting. I hope she gets the brakes beat off of her, but she's in confinement. Here we go, guys.
Good afternoon, everyone. As you know, my name is Shalina Jones, and I am your Chatham County District Attorney. I'm here today to discuss a matter that has captured the hearts and minds of many people across our community, across the state of Georgia, and across this nation. And that is the sad and untimely death of 2-year-old baby boy Quentin Simon. Over these past few weeks, there have been photos and images that you might have seen of men and women hard at work, combing through heaps of trash, looking for just the smallest sign of what happened to baby Q, as he was affectionately known. When any person, particularly a child of tender years, is murdered, harmed, victimized, or goes missing in our community, it's a matter that calls our very humanity into question. These are the cases that keep us up at night. These are the cases that deserve justice. Before I begin, I would like to thank the fine members of law enforcement, particularly our Chatham County Police Department Police Chief Jeff Hadley. Thank you. You'll join me here. I appreciate it. And to the rest of his team, particularly the lead investigator on this case, Detective Lemons. Chief, I want to thank you for the hard work and dedication that you devoted to this case from the very beginning. Your department was boots on the ground, and you made this the highest priority for our county. You represented our county well, and we greatly appreciate it. To the men and women of the Chatham County Sheriff's Office, the GBI, the Department of Natural Resources, and every other, the FBI, of course, and every other law enforcement agency that devoted time, effort, and resources to searching for baby Quentin, we say thank you. These men and women worked very long hours, turning shifts for 6 weeks straight, working tirelessly and would not quit until Quentin's body was found. Were it not for their tireless efforts, we would not have been able to take the first step on the long road to justice as we have today. I'm standing here before you because earlier this morning, the sworn and impaneled members of our Chatham County Grand Jury returned a 19-count indictment against the mother of Quentin Simon, that is defendant Leilani Simon. Defendant Simon is charged in the indictment with 1 count of malice murder for the intentional killing or death of her son, Quentin Simon. She is also charged in counts 2 and 3 with felony murder in the death of her son. She is charged also with 1 count of concealment of the death of another in this indictment. And that is followed by several counts of giving false statements during the course of a police investigation. As your district attorney, I realize that this matter is really important to our community and also to the inquiring minds both here and beyond our community that want to know what happened to baby Quentin and how it happened. That curiosity is not lost on me. However, there's more evidence that may be revealed during the course of this investigation. And I say that to remind you all that this is an ongoing criminal investigation. As prosecutors, we are duty bound to preserve the judicial process by not making out-of-court statements about the case and by not releasing evidence in the case. I want you to know that this is not about hiding anything, and our goal is always to be transparent with the members of the public. However, it is very important that we preserve the sanctity of the judicial process. It is very important that we do that so that the evidence in this case, if this case should go to trial, can be heard by jurors who are selected from this community, the jurors, the citizens, and the people who are most impacted by the untimely death of Quentin Simon. But not revealing this evidence also ensures that the criminal proceeding remain fair, just, untainted, and that this case is not tried in the court of public opinion, but is resolved in a court of law. What that means is that while this case is of grave importance to our office, and we will devote every resource to making sure that this case is properly handled from beginning to end, it also means that we will not be responding to any open records requests or media questions about the facts and underlying circumstances and the evidence of the case. We all know that justice takes time, but it should be swift and sure and fair. We appreciate the time and your time and patience with us in this matter as we continue to pursue justice for baby Quentin Simon and for the citizens of Chatham County. Thank you very much.
Are you taking questions?
Depends on what questions
Is
you
there
have.
a chance we can get a copy of the indictment? Charges sealed.
The indictment has not been sealed as of yet. That means that as of now, it is still a matter of public record. You can obtain a copy of that indictment from the office of the Superior Court Clerk.
I know there's only so much you can release, but from the evidence that you've had a chance to look at, is there anything you can tell us that really stuck out to you? What was the most shocking to you just from a human point of view?
Well, I would generally say, not about this case, but in general, whenever we have a death of a child of tender years, in this case, as I said, Quentin Simon was 2 years old, that's something that is just going to stick in your mind. As a prosecutor, that's something that keeps me up at night. And that is what's going to keep me and the rest of this office pursuing justice in this case.
Leilani Simon still hasn't petitioned to take her bond hearing to Superior Court. Is that something that surprises you, or is she where she needs to be?
Well, I think that would be a better question that's reserved for her defense counsel. I am not surprised by any moves that the defendants do and don't make. My job is to make sure that we stand ready to respond to whatever move they make. And so should she request a bond hearing, my office will be ready.
Can you share with us why Billy Joe Hall was jailed?
Can you repeat the question?
Can you share with us why Billy Joe was jailed?
That's a separate legal matter that's still under investigation. I'm not at liberty to discuss that matter at this time.
And you may not be able to answer this question either, but what resulted in the contempt charges for Miss Billy Joe Howell of Betterton?
What's the question?
What resulted in the contempt charges?
Are you asking what caused the contempt?
Yeah.
Again, that's a separate legal matter. I'm not at liberty to discuss that at this time.
In your course of prosecution here, you have 3 murder charges for 1 victim. Can you talk about it, just explain to the general public why that happens, the difference in malice murder and the 2 counts of felony murder?
Prosecutors often develop different theories of a case and how a murder may or may not have occurred. It is not uncommon for us in murder cases, and you'll see this in our other indictments, to charge murder in a number of different ways. And as I said, as the evidence continues to evolve in this case and we get closer to trial, should we get there, we'll have more information about if any additional murder charges need to be filed or if they need to be changed in any way.
You say you're still gathering evidence. Talk about the confidence you have in the evidence that you have right now.
Well, to be honest, I wouldn't be standing here before you if I wasn't confident about the evidence that we have. We have more than sufficient evidence to bring the charges, and that's why we presented this case to grand jury. They actually believed us. They returned a true bill on the indictment. We're confident about that. But what makes me even more confident is that I get to rely on the hard work and evidence and investigation of Chief Hadley, his team, our law enforcement agencies. They collected copious amounts of evidence, and because of their fine investigative work, I feel very confident that we are about the position that we're in today.
You spoke to the hard work of Chief Hadley and law enforcement in this case. And I know Chief Hadley told us multiple times that he didn't want to stand before us months later talking about flaws in the investigation and how that's impacted the case. Can you just speak to how the efforts of law enforcement have helped make this case, have helped make you confident in the evidence of this case so far?
Well, I would say that the evidence that was produced by law enforcement, the good thing is that we had a number of different law enforcement agencies coming together and pooling their information resources. I am very proud of the work of the detective, the lead detective on this case, who was absolutely solid from beginning to end. And, that's something that you pick up when you're a prosecutor and examining evidence and case files and working with detectives. Also, we have one of our top-notch prosecutors. All of our prosecutors in this office are top-notch, but we have one of our top-notch prosecutors who specializes in these kinds of cases and crimes against children, who reviewed the case day and night. So, those kinds of things build our confidence in moving forward with the charge.
Do we have any information or update information about the boyfriend who was home at the time?
We have information about that, but again, that's not anything that I'm going to reveal right now, as I can't talk about the underlying facts and circumstances. I'm sorry, I wish I could. I know you want to know, but out of respect for the judicial process, I kind of have to keep my word on that. And also, I'd like to keep my bar license. So I appreciate your time and attention. Thank you for coming out this afternoon. We will continue to keep you posted as necessary. Thank you, and thank you to the citizens of Chatham County.
All right, guys, for those that are just joining us, there has been a 19 count indictment for Leilani Simon. We are working to get the that indictment right now. So what I will show you now, so this is, yes, well, you have to purchase the indictment. You have to purchase it. So 19 counts, yes. Trigger warning, guys. Just trigger warning what I'm about to say. He was beat to death with an object by, in my opinion, and the courts, or the prosecutor rather, Leilani Simon. She beat that baby to death. She beat him to death with an object. This was no accident. This was intentional. She's being charged with malice murder, felony murder, serious felony, it's the degree, concealing death of another, felony, false report of a crime, misdemeanor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, the rest are, and 14 counts of making a false statement. What is it, just a girl? What was it, hun? I think Georgia still has the death penalty. If not, they should reopen it just for her. They should reopen it just for her, in my opinion. So, yeah. If anybody wants to call in or anything, we're having a hard time opening it for some reason. I don't know what it is, but they should definitely, if there isn't, I do believe that there still is. Well, apparently she has, I mean, I don't know if she's going to plead guilty or innocent, to be honest with you, but they have alleged that she has beat him with a blunt force object, and it's beyond anything what anyone could begin to comprehend of what Quentin suffered, how he suffered, and along with the kids. According to the indictment, Leilani Simon left her Buckhalter home on the night of October 4th to meet her drug dealer, and early again October 5th to toss Quentin's body in a dumpster at Azalea Mobile Home Park. According to the Leilani's 8-page indictment, Leilani beat Quentin, quote, with an object causing, quote, cruel and excessive pain, end quote, causing the 20-month-old's death. I love this prosecutor. I think she's going to do a great job. And I think we should all definitely have her back. She said she is innocent, so she won't plead guilty. Okay. Well, that's very interesting. If if she literally admitted, I mean, maybe things have changed now. I don't know. But if she admitted to go meet her drug dealer, and on the 4th, and then dump him in the dumpster. Exactly, bad girl. And let me tell you something, guys. When we were there, the only thing I could tell you about that house is it had a heavy feeling. It had a heavy feeling. It had a feeling of suppression, of weight, of evil. You could feel it. Some things looks pretty from the outside, but they can be very deceiving as well. And that is exactly the only thing that I could explain that. We knew if anyone has the indictment, we're trying to figure out how to open it or something. I think I see you is right now. You can email it to me. But it's definitely got some serious weirdness around it, to say the least. Let me show you this. I mean, Quentin Simon, he was perfect. He was perfect. This was her first appearance, her waiver, 651, murder, 161026, false report of a crime, 161020, false statement, 161031, concealing the death. And 1 second here. 480, thank you for calling.
Yeah, Justin, this is Suzanne from Hemet.
Suzanne.
I just want to call and tell you I'm so sorry.
It's I just feel bad that this kid, I mean, and all of these kids, I'm sure,
Yeah,
I know
you look your 2 boys, and how anybody could even begin to do anything like that. It's just, she had no business having those kids.
Not at all.
I would not be surprised if they don't come down real hard on her mom.
In my opinion, she should be held accountable too. Not as to death or anything. Hello, Reporter Room. Thank you for joining us. Guys, drop Reporter Room's channel in here, please. But it's unlike anything. I mean, you hear a lot, but once these indictments comes out and they tell you, what they are alleging, it's a whole different ball game. It really hits you. Just, you can kind of know somewhat, not know, but you can have this feeling in your heart of hearts that this person did something, and obviously most of us have always thought that.
Yeah.
And then, but once you hear these, what the authorities have found,
Well,
and what
you and
they're,
I both was not ready for that statement.
yeah,
You just started reading it off like it was a regular statement.
Yeah.
And that hit, I got chills sitting here, just hearing you read that. I mean, it just like shocked me. But, the first time I saw her eyes, like you say, that house had a evilness to it. She had evil in her eyes.
yes, and I'll tell you the truth. I believe that Billy Joe is just a older, more mature version of Leilani. I think she is better now than she used to be, but I think she was just, I mean, listen, something has to be wrong in a family if two of your kids have murdered.
Yes, exactly.
Something is wrong.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah.
And I think a lot of it boils down to what America is facing is the drug epidemic, and it all boils down, to that. Pam, thank you so much. Pam says, I believe when they did the search and they had the windows covered, they found traces of blood evidence with luminol. That's why they made sure they searched that landfill until they found something. Yeah. Very, very kind of you. I hate that I
Well,
brought the news to you. I
I think
was just so upset.
I think
Oh, honey, it's really. I understand. There's, Quentin. I always say I hate that I've ever came across any of these kids. I would rather not meet them. Meet them. Uh, because that means they're most likely dead or something really bad has happened to them. So, and you love them after the fact that they're gone. You know what I mean? And you just hate it. You just hate it. And how anyone can, a mother, a father, any human being could do this to someone that is literally so innocent and literally cannot fend for themselves
right.
is an act of evil that thankfully most of us cannot comprehend.
Well, I hesitate to say this, but I feel like I need to say this. My youngest daughter had 3 children, and she gave away her children
Mm-hmm.
because she could not handle it. I wasn't in a situation where I could take them.
Mm-hmm.
One, she did it without me even knowing it.
But listen, God bless her for doing that. God bless her.
Exactly.
God bless her for doing that. Listen,
Yeah.
you know what? If you can't handle kids, that's fine. There's a lot of people who want them. I mean, I have 2 of my own, and then, I do foster care, just emergency foster care. They're in my house, 24 hours maximum usually, until they can go to a more permanent home. And I just, there's nothing wrong with, you can't handle it. That's fine. Just don't hurt the kids,
Right.
So
I feel she loved them even more by
it is.
giving them up so that she
Absolutely.
would not hurt them.
Absolutely.
Because she knew if she kept them, that in her time of not being able to handle things, she would do something to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope she's done having children because, I was hoping that her last one that she would be able to keep, but
Mm-hmm. Dre McCrae said something one time, and she said, she was in her RV and stuff, and one of the older kids took, I'm not going to use names, one of the younger kids away because she said she knew she felt like she was going to do something to the kid, and I thought, what if those kids weren't there? You know what I mean? What if those kids weren't there?
Yeah, they were protecting her.
Yeah.
Well, I think that when Billy Joe gets her sentencing, she's gonna totally freak out.
Well, Billy Joe, I think she's there for 10 days, if I'm correct. And maybe from what I understand, allegedly, she's supposed to get out the 23rd, I think it is.
So you don't think that I don't know what it's called there, but social services isn't gonna come down and charge her with anything?
That's up to CPS if they should, if they feel like they should recommend charges, or if the police want to do it separately. So Bullhorn Betty, she beat him with an object. She met her drug dealer on, I think she said the 4th, and she dumped his body on the 5th.
I wonder what Betty's doing right now.
Betty's in the chat, so I'm going to drop a link if Betty wants to come up. I would love for her to come up right now.
Well, I'm going to let you go. I'm just I need to cry some more.
Yeah, that's okay. Crying heals the soul.
That one picture of him kind of laying down in his little legs.
Yep. It's the most precious thing, isn't it?
Gets me.
Yep.
The little pudgy little legs.
It is. It is. It's very precious. It really is.
Well, I'll tell you what, the angels in heaven are causing his name to be known now.
Amen to that. Hey, dear, I'm going to get off here because I got Bullhorn Betty coming up. Okay.
Okay. All right. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Betty.
Hey, love. How are you?
Oh man.
I knew. I mean, literally that's what I was so upset about, is like literally within 24 hours of us putting our feet on that ground out there, we knew this was not an accident. This was not a drowning. We knew that she targeted this little boy. We knew. And it just upsets me so much because, people don't think that the reason why I was so upset is because at the end of the day, law enforcement had enough evidence to arrest her without him. I'm glad they kept looking for him, but there was no reason for her not to be in jail. And now we're hearing that how horrific this poor little 20-month-old baby died. I'm so, it just angers me. It just re-energizes those feelings I had when I knew out in front of that house. We knew.
So, according to Brett Buffington, according to Leilani Simon 8-page indictment, Leilani beat Quentin Simon, quote, with an object, end quote, causing, quote, cruel and excessive pain, end quote, causing the 20-month-old death.
Yeah.
And then, according to the indictment, Leilani Simon left her Buckhalter home the night of October 4th to meet her drug dealer, and again early October 5th to toss Quentin's body in the dumpster at Azalea Mobile Home Park.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Sounds about right. It sounds, what, at the end of the day, it sounds like exactly what we heard happened to that little boy.
19 counts, Betty. 19 counts. We're working on getting that, the indictment there. Oh, okay. Let's see if this. So,
And I just want to throw a big old shout out to Dolly Vision again. I just want to remind everybody, the man went to jail over this case and again did not deserve that. So I don't care how you guys feel about him. He was out there fighting for this baby, and
Yeah.
his day in court still has yet to come.
Mhm. Well, all we were doing was protesting and saying there's a baby killer in the house.
Wrong. There was
Exactly.
nothing that we did wrong. At the end of the day, the police were not helping us. They were not separating the problem. They weren't separating the groups. They were supposed to be separating the groups. We were being non-combative and they were being combative. At the end of the day, people were going to get injured and Dolly was there to help us. So
Yeah. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So I think Billy's supposed to get out of jail the 23rd.
which sucks because she should be in jail until after Christmas. But
yeah.
But
I
you know
agree.
what? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if she goes to jail again. She went to jail. And you know what? Quentin Simon, she's sitting there right now without any drugs, without any alcohol, without nothing to numb the pain. And now she has to sit there with her thoughts, her feelings, and everything that she has been hiding and drowning. And she has to just stew in all of it. And that to me is good enough.
It really is. It really is. And I again, I don't think it's over. I still don't think it's over for her. I may be wrong, but I still
This
think
is a good signal for me, and I don't mean to cut you off, but a good signal for me that she may not be getting those boys back or the kids back like she thinks.
I would almost guarantee it. I would almost guarantee it. Now, of course, I don't know, but I've been in the foster care system, with, a foster care home for a while. And I don't see that. I mean, Georgia may be differently. I don't know, but I don't see it happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because they
I
don't.
hope not, because if we were to trust, I'm sorry. I'm glad that now we have, Quentin, and I'm glad with everything that they did, they brought Quentin Simon home. At the end of the day, I don't want to take that away from the wonderful men and women that were out there every day looking for that little boy. I do not want to take that away from them at all. However, this did not need to go down the way it went down. And, they can't keep blaming the YouTubers for everything that happened in Chatham County. That's all I'm going to say.
No, it's true. I agree. I agree with you. What is this? I'm looking at some stuff here. Yeah, so she's got she's got like 14 of making a false statement, and then she's got malice murder, and then 2 counts. Oh, she's got 1 count of concealing death of another, and 2 counts of felony murder, 1 count of malice murder.
Good. I hope that this is a capital case. I hope that she has, I differ on a few of our friendly counterparts in the fact that, somebody had said on one of their channels that if it was somebody else's kid, they would want death, but because it's their own, they don't. And I'm thinking that's not the way it should be, because it should be 10 times harder to kill your own offspring as opposed to another offspring. And I'm sorry, but this should rise to the level of a capital crime. She should be facing the death penalty. I hope that they move this ball forward where she is facing the death penalty. Even if she gets life in prison, I still want that death penalty option on the table for the jury to decide.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There was less than a 5% chance that they would find Quentin Simon statistically, when they went out there, but they did not give up. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to a dump.
It is the most disgusting, horrible smelling place you can be. And that's just to throw your own garbage away, not
Yes.
digging through it.
Yes.
It's
And
putrid.
it smells like methane, like you would not believe. I've been to the dump many times. And it I used to flip houses and stuff. And when we would take stuff there, sometimes they would ask us because we would have so much stuff, they would ask us to go back to places like this so we could back up. That way we didn't feel the dumpsters really full and stuff. And it is black.
Well, I can honestly tell you, we were standing outside of that facility to record some of the footage when we first got there. And I can tell you that there was tiny little streams of liquid that came out of the place. And even out there at the sign where we recorded from, you could smell the facility. It wasn't, you didn't, even standing outside of those gates, not even being on the other side of the gates, you could smell it.
Mm-hmm.
It was awful. And that was from that far away. I can't. Mm-mm.
Question. Were you there when they put these bags over the windows?
We came after the time that they put the bags over the windows, and we know for a fact that they did that for luminol testing.
Yes. So here you can see they're doing the living room, right? And it makes me wonder, because I always screamed at Leilani, "Which room did you do it in, Leilani?" That's what I used to scream.
Yeah.
At her. And they've found some blood, I'm sure, and that's why they kept looking. That is exactly why they kept looking. They knew that there was blood. They found blood, and they did not give up.
I remember looking at her in her eyes while she was sitting out on those chairs and saying, "What did it feel like knowing you took the life of your son?" And she just looked at me, stone-faced, just cold. It's now looking back and now hearing this indictment coming out, it's just, it almost makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up. I can't express it or explain it or describe how hearing that echoing in my head feels.
Yes. So this is the dumpster in front of Azalea Mobile Home Plaza, the place where Leilani Simon indictment says she dumped Quentin Simon's body, concealing the toddler's death, and then lied to police about why she was there. So this is not the dumpster.
This is not the dumpsters that I've ever seen. That's not even, because the dumpsters that we seen in the Azalea trailer park, they had trees and debris and everything behind them, including mattresses.
Yes. So this is probably on the other side of the trailer park.
It would have to be, because that definitely isn't the area that we saw that had
the other one, they're in a line, and there's mattresses out there, there's strollers and all of that. So this is new information to me.
I'm just curious as to whether this is the right photo. sorry.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand.
I mean, I personally just questioning it. I mean, we did not drive all over the place. We went to the path of least resistance. That was the ones we went to were up front. I didn't know or would have never been aware that there was actually a second set of these said dumpsters.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on Google Earth in a little bit, and I'm going to go through Azalea Trailer Park and see if there's more dumpsters.
Yeah,
Because this
because
one's by
there's
itself.
yeah, no, and they even said multiple dumpsters. So I know that there had to have been more than one, and I know that does not look like any of the dumpsters we saw, unless they replaced the dumpsters. But still, there was a whole bunch of trees and fencing on the back side of it, so it would have been hard to get behind it and take the photo going forward, if that makes sense.
Right. But this looks like there's a bunch of stuff around. Like I don't know what this is. Is this a porch or something, or is this a?
I don't know, but you know what? It could have been, because maybe that does make more sense, it being a dumpster that is all singular by itself. And we knew that her friend Paige was there. Maybe this is literally across the street from Paige's house, because we were trying to figure out how anybody could see these dumpsters from a trailer where they were lined up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's possible that we had the wrong location altogether inside this trailer park.
That's very interesting. You think I don't even know where my phone is. I got so many tabs open. 207. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
You're talking to Justin and Betty.
Justin and Betty, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have just a statement. If they put her
Okay.
general population, she won't make it more than a day.
Oh, I agree. But they probably won't. And if they do, they've got a close eye on her.
Oh, I know, and I truly believe in eye for an eye. Give me 2 minutes with her.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people wouldn't mind.
But the whole idea that it should be for somebody else, like it should be 10 times harder, 10 times more cruel to injure your own offspring. Think about the love, the protection.
Yes.
I mean,
what she did to the little boy, the death penalty is nothing for her.
Yeah.
She needs to go out the same way she took her son out.
God, I would love to administer that punishment. I would.
Yeah, that's just my feelings on it. I was growing up eye for an eye, so.
Yeah, that's the way I grew up too. It surely was.
That's the way it should be.
I enjoyed you guys' work. You both work very hard. I'm very pleased that you can talk to both of you. Both have a blessed night.
Well, thank you.
God bless
Appreciate
you.
you. Look on the sun. The sun's number one. Facing justice, mom of missing toddler Quentin Simon hit with 19 charges, including murder, after she's indicted after Todd's body found in landfill. Look at that baby.
There is nothing, and we saw so many bruises on this child, so many lumps on this child.
On all the kids, except for the baby.
Yeah, and you got to think, if she did this to all of her other kids, what did she do to that baby? That baby can't even talk yet. Lord have mercy. I'm surprised that even in the court system, Billy Joe did not get custody of all the kids. Why leave Sky in their custody if they were so unfit to take care of the other two?
Yeah. I don't understand it. But look at that baby.
I know.
And he looks just like her. He looks so much like her.
I really do believe when we found out in town, that she just never bonded with this child. And then you hear, Billy Joe kind of giving these puns about some kind of a, thing between, his father and her, it kind of gives you that why, you kind of understand a little more why this child was so hated. I mean, especially if there was that something that went on between Billy Joe and Bubba. That has to be really hard for Leilani to have to sit there and look at that child every day and then know that she now has to pay child support for that child.
Mhm. So I think she did this because of either Bubba or Billy Joe, or both.
Or both. I think it was probably a little bit of everything. I think it was she hated Bubba. I think she hated her mother. I think her mother did terrible things to her when she was a child. I really do. I'm not giving her a pass by any stretch of the imagination. Everybody knows how I feel about Billy Joe and Leilani. So, but I do believe that Leilani did not have a good life at all. You got to think that her and her other sibling are both going to be going to jail for murder. I mean, that is, think about the life that those kids, it almost makes you feel bad for them. Because what kind of life did they have where this is the end result for 2 of 3 siblings?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I've said this just earlier. I believe that Billy Joe is just an older version of Leilani.
Yes.
She's might have matured a little bit, but she was probably
Exactly
bad
like
or worse.
Leilani. It's just her. She didn't hate her children is the difference. Leilani hated this child.
Yes. Any filicide, which is, a mother killing their own child.
Yeah.
The the two main reasons are they believe that they will be in a better place, kind of like the Lori Vallow thing, almost
Yeah.
like an honor killing or whatever. And the second one is revenge of the father.
Yeah.
Those are the two main reasons why filicide happens.
I mean,
And
she could, I guess, with me even saying that comment and you saying that, I mean, she could actually argue that knowing that he was going to be in her mother's care scared her so much that she felt so more empowered to end his life than to allow him to go through the cruelty that she had to go through.
Mhm.
Now, that could be a defense in all fairness.
Yeah.
Because, and she could cite, look at my brother. My brother also murdered, I mean, I don't know what the defense is going to be. That would be a horrible defense. But, still, I mean, she could play that card. I mean, it was successful with, why can't I think of her name? The chick here, Casey Anthony.
Yes.
She blamed all her problems on her father. Like Leilani can blame all her problems on her mother.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Which to me, it's still uncalled, it's obviously still uncalled for, but
Right.
I think Billy Joe, I mean, they've only lived in that house,
In
what, a
less than
year?
2 years. Less than
Yeah,
2 years,
yeah.
according to Diana, which is what's upsetting to Diana too, because Diana's lived there for like 4 or 5 years, and here she has this lady just move in, and all this chaos erupts after she decides to try to kindly help this family. Let's think, $15 a day
Mhm.
is not
Nothing.
anything for a
Nothing.
child.
Nothing. And and they would still buy diapers and everything else.
Yes, they had to. They were forced to. They had no choice.
Right. Exactly. And what was interesting to me when Diana said that she had only seen Billy Joe maybe one time in person,
Right.
1, 2 times at the max, and had only
Yeah,
talked to
something. It
her.
was a real low number. She didn't really know her very well.
Yeah, she didn't really know her, and had only talked to her, she said, maximum 5 times over the phone.
Mm-hmm. And she was thinking that this, of course, it was through the church, so naturally she's thinking she's dealing with a normal person.
Yes. But that was anything but.
Right. She found
mean-
out a short time later. Now, mind you, she didn't know this family that well. Again, they've only been in the neighborhood a year. At this time when she's meeting them, probably about a year. Everybody can be on their best behavior in a year. Let's be honest. Even Bullhorn Betty can.
Right. I was looking at see if there's any. Now, WSAV, let me show you what they actually put this dumpster up here too, just now. And I love the district attorney. She's awesome there. The indictment tells a story of Quentin's last moments alive. Prosecutors believe that Leilani beat Quentin Simon, quote, with an object causing, quote, cruel and excessive pain, end quote, which was the cause of death of the 20-month-old. According to the indictment, Leilani left her Buckhalter home on the night of October 4th to meet her drug dealer, and again early October 5th to toss Quentin Simon in the dumpster at Azalea Mobile Home Park. And
it
this
makes
says
you wonder. This
dumpster-
also comes to explain why that juvenile judge is not playing fucking games with these people.
yes.
You know?
Oh, hold on. What's this?
These 19 charges, I can tell
Hold
you.
on. Here we go.
Mother, Leilani Simon, has been indicted
See what
for
this-
the murder of her 2-year-old son. Our lead investigative reporter, Brett Buffington, is live at the Chatham County Courthouse. Brett, what can you tell us about the charges she faces?
But obviously law enforcement.
But Tina, this indictment is 8 pages long. It includes 19 charges, including felony murder, malice murder, and then the rest of those charges are lying to police officer. This indictment tells a gut-wrenching story about how Quentin Simon died. According to the indictment, Leilani Simon beat her child to death and then took him to a nearby mobile home park and threw his body in a dumpster. That is the case. The investigators in the Quentin Simon case have now presented to the district attorney. Today, a grand jury here in Chatham County indicting this. The district attorney saying in a press conference that just wrapped up here that they believe they have the evidence in this case, not being specific about what that evidence is, but have the evidence in this case to bring these charges against her and take Leilani Simon to trial on these 19 charges. I can tell you there is a lot more in this indictment. Again, it's 8 pages long, including 3 murder counts in this indictment. We have a copy of it. We are still going through it. I can tell you among the things we have learned today is that on the night before Quentin Simon went missing, this indictment says Leilani Simon left that home to go meet her drug dealer. And then on October 5th, in the early mornings, according to the indictment, Leilani Simon left home and took Quentin's body in a trash bag to that dumpster at Azalea Mobile Home Park, according to the indictment. Then she lied about it. Of course, we are still working to go through it. We'll have much more coming up all new on the news at 6. But now that we are live downtown at the Chatham County Courthouse, I'm Brett Buffington, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Brett, thank you. Brett also spoke exclusively with.
So it's 10 minutes and they'll be going live with that now. It also,
I feel so bad for Brett. I can't imagine because, he
Yes.
just happened to be in the same places that we happen to be because he's an investigative journalist.
right.
And I can't imagine that poor man. He got so much hate just from being in the same square.
Yeah, you're right.
I felt so bad for him. I don't know him personally, but what a great guy. I don't even know if he likes me. It doesn't really matter, but he's always been a nice person.
Yeah,
whether
he's
he
always
likes
been
Bullhorn Betty or
respectful.
not. Yeah.
It says he just said the 8-page indictment against Leilani Simon accuses the 23-year-old mother of being on drugs when she killed Quentin Simon, changing her story to police at least 3 times, including blaming her then boyfriend and then being the one who left the home overnight.
And it's hard for me to believe that Danny knows nothing.
Yeah. I mean,
Unless she drugged him, like I said, she did not want this child. And we heard rumors that she specifically asked how much her child's support would be if she didn't have both of the kids.
wasn't Leilani or Billy Joe's husband there? Was he there?
He wasn't there while we were there. He was. I mean, he came. I think he came while we were there, like one time, but he went inside, and that's when they were putting the boards up on the outside gate.
No, I meant, was he there the night Quentin died?
I don't think him or Billy Joe were there.
I know Billy Joe wasn't, but I was thinking he was. But, I can't imagine someone beating a child with an object and them not hearing
Nobody
it.
hearing it. But see, that's where we heard Paul came into
The other house.
There was another house that Tom is known at staying at, and it's right around the corner off of Gerard. But still, her brother Paul was in that home, and we heard early on in the case that Paul could have helped her conceal this whole entire crime. We don't know, but that's what we heard when we were boots on the ground first day there. That's what we heard.
Huh. We're having problems getting this indictment. I'm telling you, it's something with the download. We're going to go ahead and purchase it again, I guess.
Well, if you get it, send it to Bullhorn Betty at Gmail.
I will. What's
I can
this?
talk about it in the morning.
That's Moscow.
It's so funny seeing Dolly on this early in the morning this morning, but it was like, this is a morning that I'm like, I'm so happy to see him on because I didn't have to go on right away. I enjoyed my time with my coffee. My face was done, but I got to just kind of chill.
I agree, Hush Puppy. Justin, news of how Quentin said. Yeah, it's. I mean, Betty, you can attest to this. That house felt evil, didn't it?
It did. It did. You can feel these things. That's why it's so important to be there. Like
yes.
There's just stuff you don't get.
It's different. It's so different when you're there
in person.
It's like, feet away from you. A few days prior, an infant was getting the life taken out of him.
Yeah.
And then thrown in the trash.
Yeah.
And
then people telling us that he most likely won't come home, that his final resting place will be a freaking dump.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That unnerved me.
Yes.
This baby needed to be brought home. If nothing more, we put enough pressure that this baby needed to be brought home. They were not going to leave this be without finding that baby. Then it would have been all for nothing, and then they would have actually had to come forward and arrest her without the body, and then everything would have erupted.
That would have been bad if they didn't have the body. I mean, it would have just been really.
Well, it's bad now I'm glad Quentin was found, but it's bad now, especially with law enforcement saying, "Oh, by the way, we had enough evidence without him." Then why in the hell was she out of jail?
I don't know. I think she should have been. I mean, maybe if they were just trying to listen to her, that's the only thing I can think of. You know what I mean?
Give me a break. They weren't listening to jack shit.
Know. That's it. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. They were back there blaring the music. I can tell you that, trying to,
because they were getting all high and going over stuff and making sure it's in each other's minds what they're going to do. That's probably why, the judge was pissed off, is because she's probably looking over at her, knowing she's trying to talk to her with her eyes. Moms and daughters do that. So don't tell me that you don't communicate without saying nothing. We all know that's not true.
Well, and then she has this earpiece on her. People's like, oh, she forgets her earpiece all the time. I'm like, you walk through a fucking metal detector.
Yeah.
Don't tell me she just walked past with this thing on her. They would have been like, sorry, ma'am, you got to take that off.
They had to wand my freaking bra strap. Are you freaking kidding me? They wanded my bra strap, my little things, not the underwire, which you would think would set off the triggers, But the
Yeah.
back part of my bra strap that doesn't even have a whole lot of metal on. They had to wand that down.
Yeah. So, it was laughable to me. It was like, oh, she forgot that on her ear. No,
Yeah.
she didn't forget
Okay.
that on her ear. She didn't forget that on her ear.
And you know what? If Cher was in it, then Cher knows and knows only, most likely, that she was the reason that woman went to jail. And we warned you. You know what? At the end of the day, you didn't get no bullshit with us. At least you know where we all stand. We don't lie to you. We don't deceive you. We come at you exactly how it is. You change our minds. It's not we need to change your mind.
What do you mean it got past the metal detector?
The only way we would know that is from Billy Joe, and at this point, she is not a trustworthy person to
That's for damn
get
sure.
information from. I am so sorry, but I don't care how many times she says that she just walked through a metal detector. I don't care. She said it. I do not believe it without corroboration.
That is for damn sure. Damn sure. She has aged considerably.
Are you kidding me? I said that woman was 65 years old. I did not know. I about fell over, and it was genuine fall over. Was one of my first, I think the second day I covered this story, when they were telling me, I'm like, I can't find this lady on Truthfinder. The only woman I'm finding on Truthfinder is 45 years old. And they're like, oh no, that's it. I'm like, there is no way this lady is 45 years old. I was looking for 60 and above. I swear to God.
How old is she?
45. She's only 2 years older than me, babe.
Oh my God.
2 years older than me.
Look at this. Here, I'll show you. Look at this.
She is 3 years younger than Marissa and Dolly. Might be giving Marissa a year.
Listen, I mean,
she
I
might
know.
be like, oh, that bitch.
I know. No, she don't care to say her age. I mean, I know nobody's pretty in a prison, a mugshot or anything, but you can tell she's just lived a hard life, in my opinion, of drugs, coke. It ages you.
Oh, I don't think it's just coke, baby.
What do you think Leilani was on?
She was on anything that she could get her hands on, period.
Yeah, but what do you think was her main bag? Do you have an idea? Like, what was it? Coke, meth, something like that?
Based on the behavioral information that we got up front,
thank you,
I
Hush
would be
Puppy.
more inclined to say it was more of crack cocaine that was her means, her shindig. I don't know if it was that or meth, but from what I could tell, I really believe that it was the crack.
Yeah. Crack is whack. I don't know.
That I believe is what Billy Joe is on and why her jaw was twitching. Now, there are other things that can make the jaw twitch like that, but it's usually a narcotic or a very
upper.
hot, strong. Yeah.
It's an upper.
Yeah.
Because Marissa had a little jaw action too.
Oh, come on. We all know, Marissa has her way of getting attention when she needs to have her attention.
That's true too.
That's what I tell people. I said, come on, she's a pretty strategic person.
She knows how to
I just kind of feel like that was like the fuck you to all the people there. They're like, would you, let me just do this. I don't know, but maybe she was on medication. I don't know.
It's that's true. I never thought of it that way.
That's why I love Marissa. She keeps people talking. I went through Twitter. Oh my God. I went through Twitter today. I don't go on Twitter very much anymore. And I go on there. Can you believe there's still people yakking about me, putting up the same crap that was put up last year? And it's like, come on, guys.
Oh, Billy, Billy. I just called him Billy. I'm looking at Billy right now.
I know, Betty. I know what you meant.
So sorry. Forgive me. Betty, they will do this forever. ever. I mean, there's people still playing Marissa's, her arrest video. It's like greatest hits. Go for it. No, this is a S uh, vest. When you want to, it's an unalive vest, is what that is.
Yeah, what we call the turtle suit. That's what we called it back. I mean, it's funny that I now know Dolly these days and
Turtle.
age, but back in the day when I was getting in trouble, which was like 20 years ago, by the way, folks, 20 years ago. Maybe as far back as 15 years ago, but either way, that was a turtle suit. Ours were green, and the only time I knew I wasn't going to general population was to be in the green suit. So I would always say stuff to be in the green suit. I did not want to go to general pop. I knew I was going to be bonded out. I just needed to go chill in the medical facility for a little while. And if I had to wear this funky ass turtle suit, I would do that. And I would wait an hour for them to roll the phone around to the thing. But I would keep that phone in that pod until I called every last person that I needed to call.
Oh my God.
I didn't have to fight with bitches over the phone. I just had to wait my turn. That's all I had to do.
Isn't it amazing how we laugh at things now that back then it wasn't so funny, right?
I must have resonated with someone. I won't say anything, Justin. No.
No, I've never. No, I don't. I've never been in jail. I've never been in jail. I promise. Swear to God. Never been in jail.
Don't say that. JLR will find that one thing.
Go for it. If he finds something of me being in jail, I want to know about it.
Oh, are you kidding me? He'll just cut and paste your photo. No. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Now you're giving him ideas.
Now
You're giving him
Thank
ideas.
God he doesn't watch any of us.
So I've the worst thing I've ever had is like speeding tickets.
Yeah. I wish that was the worst thing I had, but nah, not with me.
Yeah. Well, we all, you live and live. The thing is like, if you live and you learn, that's one thing. But if you keep living and you're not learning, that's another.
But that was the thing. That's the way I used to be. I kept thinking if I just did it the same way, but just a little differently, everything would be okay.
Yeah. It doesn't work that way, does it?
No, it doesn't work that way.
Not that easy. It's just not that easy. I don't know.
But I have to say, I am so thankful this freaking lady is in jail. Like I said, it doesn't even matter how long she's in jail. We already won.
And they're in jail together, the same jail.
It doesn't. But you know what? The thing is this is the one person that did not think her ass would go to jail. And she is sitting there for 10 days. That is a win.
Yes. Well, I mean, so she went to court that day, and I believe she was supposed to have court again the next morning, according to Cher. And she said, if the judge felt like she learned her lesson, then they would hopefully let her out. But apparently that didn't work either.
Really? They think that Billy Joe's going to learn her lesson. Not with a no-charge Hadley as the police chief that likes to cater to this type of company. Just saying.
Yeah, but I know she was. So she had to write like an apology letter to the judge.
That's what we're hearing, but who are we hearing this from? We're hearing all this, but we're not hearing it from the courts because it's gag ordered. We're not hearing. So somebody is leaking this information, and if they're leaking this information, why are they leaking this information if they know there's a gag order? So this information we're hearing, we have to take as a 50-50.
Sure.
A toss on whether it's legit information or not.
I bet you once she gets out, things will be quiet.
Very, very quiet. Mouse quiet. I think that's why people are starting to ramp up their reruns of Bullhorn Betty in front of her house and wanting to dog me.
The reruns. The reruns.
Just in case you didn't forget, we were in front of Billy Joe, Hal, and Leilani, the murderers of 20-month-old Quentin Simon. Yes, we were there. Boots, we should say heels on the ground.
Yes. I've got the SVG.
And I got to say, Justin wore his heels pretty damn
Yes.
well.
Thank you. I've got the SVGA jail for feeding an alligator beef jerky. I don't get it.
What the? Is that a joke?
What is that? What does that mean, Illusion? What does that mean? I don't get
Oh,
it.
it's from Illusion. Illusion doesn't usually joke around, but I don't know. She just might be. She might
Go
be
ahead, AG. I just turned the phone on. You can call now. AG Copeland wants to call in.
AG, nice to hear from her. Or him. I can't remember if it's him or her. I think it's a her. There it is.
Hello.
Yes, I am wanting to talk with Justin.
This is Justin.
Hey, Justin, this is Amy from Georgia. AG Copeland.
Yes. How are you, honey?
We love AG.
You're watching the live right now.
Oh. Betty's saying hi.
Hey, Betty.
She said hey. Go ahead.
Hey, okay. I just wanted to say, I watched y'all. I didn't get to go in person down there to protest, but I watched every video y'all had live. I would get up every morning and watch you live up until night when y'all went to y'all's motel room. And I just want to say that every time Leilani was up there lying, saying that someone took him and this person took him and that person took him, we were all angry. But did you notice that every time she lied, they charged her with a felony lie?
Yep.
And I hope that while she's in court, I hope the court and the jurors see how they were out there partying with disco lights, drinking and drugging and putting fish out there around his memorial. And y'all did a wonderful job. And I love y'all. And I just pray that he gets justice and that she gets the death penalty.
I just keep wondering if she still thinks Cher is her friend.
I know it.
That's a good question. That's a good question. Hey guys, we got 1,500 people in here and 674 likes. Let's get that up. We're working.
Oh, you guys need to get those likes up. Those likes should be up over 1,000.
Yeah, we're working on the indictment right now.
Hit those likes to show love and support for all of y'all. You did such a wonderful job. And Betty, I was rooting you on, or Andrea, from day one. And
Thank you.
Person, but I pray that there's not another murder. But if there is, I pray I can meet y'all in person and protest with y'all.
Oh, thank you.
Protest, I have to thank you. Protesting is literally the last resort. And as you guys saw, we had every bit of
I hope we don't never have another one. But if we do, I hope to meet you guys in person.
Absolutely.
Y'all did a wonderful job. I love you, and I'm going to get back off so I can watch. And I just want to say thank you for everything you did.
Thank you. God bless you.
Love you so much. I'll be seeing y'all every time y'all come home that I can catch you from Georgia.
All right.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I got to say it. No pun intended. What a peach.
Yes. What a peach. What a peach. We are, ICU's working on that. You have to purchase it, right? You have to purchase the indictment. And the first time we purchased it,
it sucks. This is a national case. Like, they should have available for media in the public. When it's released, it should be going to a website. I mean, there shouldn't be any of this ordering. Let's suck the well dry of resources because, at the end of the day, if they spend 2 hours for ABC News and to find the same information NBC News is looking for or CBS is looking for, who has to pay the brunt of the research fees? Because by the time the first person has it, the second and third person, it should be readily available.
Yeah, I don't know. something with the download screwing up or something. I don't
Okay, well, at
know. I
least you
think.
guys have the ability to download.
Well,
Usually you have
hopefully
to pay, usually you have to pay a fee.
we did.
Oh shit.
We did have to pay. That's what I'm saying, and it only downloaded like it wouldn't one page or something, and then it's supposed to download all of them.
Oh, I hate that.
So it will just. I think
Yeah.
ICU's restarting her laptop.
I'm sure it's
So
not her laptop. I'm sure it's just the system itself. Probably everybody and their mother's trying to get that off.
mhm.
So
Yeah. I don't know. Let's just Crypt Keeper deserve charges, maybe obstruction justice. I don't know. I mean, that's just her MO. That's just how she
now, did
works.
you say the Crypt Keeper? We met her out
Thank you,
geez, why
Sarah.
can't I say it? Tennessee, Hawkins County, Tennessee.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
shout out to Crypt Keeper. Sorry. I just remember some people, not everybody, but when I do remember, it's like a light bulb goes off.
Yeah. Those memories, right? Those memories. Hold on. I think IC might have messaged me. Oh no, she's finished updating, trying to restart.
Okay.
Make sure you send the district attorney. There was wonderful videos of them partying. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Bingo.
Crap. I mean, I think Dolly's got the best one. He just sat out in front of there, just sat there and just every now and again, hollered over the yellow tape. Hey, Leilani. I was walking around bitching. I'm bitching, and he's sitting over there chill. Hey, Leilani. So what's going on?
Seriously, I don't know how I would have reacted if I saw them sitting out there, to be honest with you.
I wanted to rip the freaking chick's head off because, I was so angry because I knew she did this to this child. I knew it. I knew it. Like, I knew it, and I can tell you exactly how I knew it is because people came out and told us stories. That's how we knew exactly what we knew. But I remember just sitting there and her mother looking over at her and telling her to scream justice for Quentin. And I remember when she did that, I went off and I'm like, if you want effing justice for Quentin, you take your effing ass up to that police station and tell him everything you did to that child.
They would say, justice for Quentin.
Justice for Quentin after they stole our signs. Now, mind you, people, not one thing did that entire family do for that child. Not one thing. Those signs that you saw that were out there for justice for Quentin were donated. They stole them. Every sign around that house for Quentin was either donated or they stole.
Yes.
From the public. These people didn't even put up one I came in town with missing person flyers. And by the time I picked up Dolly from the airport, we were learning that Leilani was the prime suspect in her son's death. I didn't even get to put up the first missing person flyer. And I know that the only missing person flyers in that entire county were the ones that I brought. That broke my heart.
Yep. You're absolutely right. It was just deplorable, these people. I'm looking for.
You felt the evil. You walked that road. I mean, Lord have mercy. I mean, I don't know what else could. You were there. Yeah. You were there out there on the day, and night's a little crazy. I got to be honest with you. That night crew was a little.
It was way different.
We had to go out there and record that and document it because I couldn't understand why people were going to jail. And, we were going out there. Now, while they were rambunctious, I don't believe anybody warranted any kind of altercation that should have put them in jail. Anybody, even Fry Guy. Like, I don't think anything that they done really warranted anybody going to jail. I don't think it even rose to the level of a citation, but if it did, a citation would have been more warranted than people having to go get mugshots and fingerprints. I think that was crazy. Because I've seen a lot worse, not from our hands by any stretch of the imagination, but a lot worse protests than that. And
Okay,
people
guys.
barely even went to jail.
Here we go, guys. I got the indictment.
Oh, let's get it.
All right. And it's actually on ICU. If you're here, it's actually on the website. Which I've already got this page. State of Georgia, County of Chatham, in the Superior Court said the grand jurors, okay, they got that marked out. In the name of and on behalf of the citizens of Georgia, charges and accused Leilani Marie Simon with the offense of malice murder for that, they said Leilani Marie Simon in the county of Chatham of the state of Georgia.
I don't
on
mean
or
to
about,
interrupt you, but throw your link down in there. If ICU found all this stuff, she needs to be up here.
No. ICU didn't. Well, I mean, she did, but this is on the news source now, so we got it.
Gotcha. Sorry. Go ahead.
So, but ICU, she's my BFF. I was just telling ICU that. Oh, hold on. Is this same
case? Not being specific about what that evidence is, but have the evidence in this case to bring these charges against her and take Leilani Simon to trial on these 19 charges. I can tell you there is a lot more in this indictment. Again, it's 8 pages long, including 3 murder counts.
Okay, that's not okay. ICU, if you want to come up, you know you're welcome to, babe, of course. But
I'm sorry, that guy's so good on the eyes.
You're gonna crush. On the 5th.
No, it's not a crush. No, I said it now, but I'm just saying he's a little easy on the eyes. That's all I'm saying. Don't forget to clip. No.
On or about the 5th day of October 22, did commit the offense of aggravated assault in violation of OCGA 16521 and a felony that is accused did make an assault upon the person of her son, Quentin Simon, with an object, and when used offensively against a person did result in serious bodily injury. The nature of the offense. Hold on.
I think this might be one of those cases where she hurt him the night before, but he didn't succumb to his injuries until the next day.
Yeah. The object being known to the grand jury at this time, and the accused did, in the commission of this offense, cause Quentin's death, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof.
I'm wondering if, because I thought Diana took the children home later in the day, but if I recall correctly, I think she said it was earlier in the day, like 4 o'clock or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And if that was correct, that means it was from 4 o'clock to whenever. That means there is no way Danny could not have known that this had happened.
Had to have, in my opinion.
In my opinion, there's no flipping way he could not have known. Mm-hmm. They're saying that she beat this child with an object. We knew she was accustomed to hitting this child for stupid stuff. Sometimes not things that didn't even have anything to do with him. She just took her rage out on this child. But to hit him with an object, I'm thinking a belt or a hard object like a stick or some other thing. But either way, there's no way that people in that house could not have heard that child scream. And that just opens a whole new can of worms of why is nobody else charged in this case?
Exactly. Now, this is the count 3 felony murder, and the jury aforesaid in the name on and on behalf of the citizens of the state of Georgia, further charge and accuse Leilani Marie Simon with the offense of felony murder for that Leilani Simon in the county of Chatham, state of Georgia, on or about the 5th day of October 2022, did commit the offense of cruelty to a child in the first degree in violation of OCGA 15 or 16570, in that the accused did
Meticulously.
no, it's I can't see hardly actually. Malicely, is it malice?
That sounds right.
No, sorry.
I
It is
definitely can't see it
meticulously.
now on my
It's
little phone.
meticulously. Sorry. It's so small. Cause her son Quentin Simon, a human being and a child under the age of 18 years, cruel and excessive physical pain in the manner unknown to uh, the grand jury at this time. And the accused did, in the commission of this offense, cause Quentin's death, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia, the good order, peace, and dignity therein. So they're not saying what in this,
They're
they're
not
not
saying what she did. They're just saying what she did was horrific and
right.
cruel and unusual to a child, probably a
Yes.
human being.
Now here's the concealing of a death of another, and the juror in the state of Georgia, blah blah blah. Leilani Marie Simon, of concealing the death of another for that Leilani Simon in the county of Chatham, blah blah blah. On or about the 5th day of October 2022, did lawfully conceal the death of her son, or sorry, unlawfully conceal her death of her son, Quentin Simon, by discarding him in the dumpster at Azalea Mobile Home Plaza, which hindered the discovery of whether Quentin Simon was unlawfully killed, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia. Falsehoods, October 5th, 2022. So this one just says basically that he was saying that he was abducted by an unknown intruder, contrary to the state of Georgia. Another, making falsehoods. This one says having admitted that she had left her home in the late night hours of October 4th, 2022, to meet her drug dealer, falsely stating that the purpose of this meeting was to pay an existing drug debt, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia. It's so hard. This one's a little bit bigger. Another, facing false statements. The disappearance of Quentin Simon, a matter within the jurisdiction of the county of Chatham, a department of the government of this county, to investigate by falsely stating that the only controlled substance of which she was a regular user of was marijuana, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia.
We know that's a lie.
Yeah, that's definitely a lie, in my opinion.
Maybe the only thing they can prove.
Yes, falsely stating that the only controlled substance she had in the past 24 hours was marijuana.
Oh, she falsely, okay, so she lied, stating that that's all she did, she was using, and that's untrue.
This one is falsely stating that the purpose of the trip was to meet her friend Misty to obtain Oragel, a topical pain reliever from Misty, and that this trip that accused had in fact met Misty at a Chevron station and had obtained Oragel from her, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia. Misty. Okay, then.
So she lied to them after being read her rights, and she said this statement, and they're saying that that was not true. That she.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
This one did knowingly and willfully conceal from Martin Lemons of the Chatham County and the FBI in the early morning hours of October 5th, 2022, she had in fact traveled to Azalea Mobile Home Plaza and there had discarded her son Quentin Simon in a dumpster, contrary to the laws in the state of Georgia.
So I must have presented her with the evidence, and she lied to them about that as well.
Yes, this is where she is alleged to have lied to the FBI. This text is so small. Have admitted that she had left her home to meet a drug dealer in the late night hours of October 4th, falsely stating that the purpose of this meet was to pay off an existing drug debt. Okay. This one is.
So they must have found out she went somewhere, and they presented her with that fact, and she said, "No, this is why I did this."
Mm-hmm. To investigate a material fact to, I think it says will or wilt, that on the night of October 4th, she had used controlled substances contrary to the state of Georgia. Then we got, and the jurors, okay, knowingly, okay, she lied there. Okay. Admitted that she had left her home in the early morning hours of October 5th and traveled to Azalea Trailer Park, falsely stating that the purpose of the trip was to meet her friend Misty to obtain Oragel, a topical pain reliever from Misty, and that on the trip, the accused had in fact met Misty at Azalea Mobile Home Park and had obtained Oragel from her, contrary to the laws. Okay. And this one is investigate a material fact in the morning of October 5th at Azalea Trailer Park. She had discarded her son Quentin Simon in a dumpster, falsely stating that the purpose of the trip was to. Okay. Admitted that she had discarded the dumpster. What else do we got? That she had discarded her son Quentin Simon in the dumpster, contrary to the state. Okay, this one's got Danny's name in it. A department of the government of the county to investigate by falsely stating that it was not the accused, but rather Daniel Youngkin, who had traveled away from the home in the early morning hours of October 5th, 2022, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia. So she must have left by herself.
So every time she tried to point the finger at somebody else, it sounds like they're charging her with a count of lying to law enforcement. That is awesome.
Precisely. They are charging her every single time that she lied. So she accused Danny of traveling from the home in the early morning hours of October 5th, but it was actually her, they are alleging.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, the Department of the Government of this county to investigate by having once again admitted that she, not Daniel Youngkin, had left the home in the early morning hours of October 5th, 2022, and had traveled to Azalea Mobile Home Park, and having admitted that she had no contact there with her friend Miss Lee, falsely stating that she did not remember what she had done there, contrary to the laws of the state of Georgia. So it appears that she had finally admitted that she didn't have a contact name or a friend named Misty, and that she was saying that she forgot why she went there to the Azalea Trailer Park.
And that's where that statement came out. Remember, now that everything's starting to come into picture now, where they said, oh, the baby's in the landfill and she doesn't remember.
Hey, Marissa, come on up.
Hey, baby.
Just drop the link. My God, I'm seeing cross-eyed right now. That text is so small.
I can't see it. I'm not even trying to read it. I'm trusting
Like, it
what
is
you're
so
saying.
tiny.
Oof.
I don't know, but listen, we will always be on the side of the victim. Whether it's the popular or not the popular thing to do.
This
we
was
will
not the
always,
popular thing to do, but I'm telling you, it was the right thing to do. I don't give a rat's ass.
people's like, oh, well, treat them with compassion.
We
She just
did.
beat her
We treated him with
kid.
the same fucking compassion that, excuse my language,
Exactly.
that they
She
treated
just
that
beat
20-month-old
her
child
kid.
with.
Exactly. She beat her kid with an object.
And not only that, but we treated them with even more compassion than they showed a 20-month-old child. Where's Marissa?
She takes forever. Come on, Marissa. Come on, I'm gonna drop the link again.
See, I don't have my face on. There's a reason.
She'll be all right. Come on. How many likes do we got?
Not enough, I can guarantee that.
Bringing it all to you guys.
And not only that, but we were the boots on the ground out there. My Lord, you can't get any more up close and personal than where we were. I mean, people were egging to try to get, like I said, we didn't have to fight for Billy Joe or Leilani's time. We were, you know what? I'm right here. Hello?
Exactly.
You're right here. Hello? Marissa's right there. Hello?
Exactly. 972 likes, 1,600 in here, guys. Come on, hit that thumbs up, please. We got to get it over 1,000, please. And that's exactly right. How can you not have? Hey.
Hello?
Kate, I'm live. Are you in? Are you in chat?
No, I'm at a restaurant, but I was. What's up?
Oh, okay. Well, I got Bullhorn Betty here with me.
Hey.
Hi, honey. All right, you can put me live. That's fine.
Yeah.
What's going on?
You're on speaker. So.
I'll go on a I'm with Adrian and Jake. I'll go to the back. All right, but it's quiet.
So 19.
Leilani, 19 charges, right?
Yes, she beat him with something.
An object,
with
right?
an object. Yes.
Oh my God, she's crazy. She's a sick demon.
She is a demon.
What could she possibly have hit him with?
I don't know.
A hand?
I don't want to know. Oh God.
A number of things laying around that dirty, filthy ass house.
You're right. You're right. A bat. Oh my God, a bat.
You
Oh
know,
my God.
I mean, that description is endless in our minds.
So it sounds like, in my opinion, that, and Betty's opinion, I think, if I can speak for you, Betty, that she may have did this and then he kind of
expired much later because
yeah.
the injuries, you know how children are, you can injure them, up to 24 hours before they. I hate saying expired. It sounds
swelling in the brain. Swelling in
yeah.
the brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could have been that. Almost like that little girl whose grandmother put her in the garbage can, remember? The recycle bin? And was later found. Remember we did that story?
Yeah.
And the grandmother hit her with the post from the bed frame. Yeah.
They pick
we
up
forgot about that case. Yeah.
They pick up whatever's
there in their rage.
Yeah,
she was definitely raging.
Obviously, she seems like she didn't like Quentin very much because
she was highly jealous. Well, she was highly jealous of everyone. That she had to be the one and the only center of attention at all times. Like maybe, or I just don't think the floor, the elevator goes to the top floor.
It doesn't.
Well, look who she had as a mother.
Yeah. That's what we were
Is
talking
she
about.
still in jail? Is Ethan still in jail?
Yes, she's there till the 23rd, from what I understand.
Oh wow, that's not long enough for me.
10 days.
It's not long enough for me either, but it's a score. I mean, I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. We were told no other charges would be coming. We thought, even Billy Joe was gloating that she escaped. Well, this judge ain't having it.
Yeah. So Danny and Paul, that's who was in the house, right, that night.
Danny and Paul, yeah, I think so.
And this is the thing: that house is not as big as it looks on camera, is it? Would you agree with
that? But it has like a whole apartment thing going on the back side of it. So I don't know how the living arrangements really were at that house, because there was that, back behind the house, there was a strip there of something, and it looked like a one-bedroom apartment or something to that effect.
Someone just said, didn't the report say a blunt object? I think it did say a blunt object.
Blunt force. Oh, that's scary.
So they had enough bone to be able to determine that, and they would have had the reports back by now related to that.
Seriously bodily harm, injury, the nature of the object being, or they're not telling us.
They're not saying. They're just saying object. The object will be revealed in due time, because they're going to have to identify the object in which they are referring.
Yes. Wow.
They're not required to expose that tidbit of information just yet. I mean, we're at the beginning of this entire case, and so there's going to be things that are going to be excluded by, gaining an inappropriately some kind of exemption. There's going to be lots of stuff that's excluded, so they're going to be using a lot of cryptic wording in their pleadings due to the fact that there's a gag order on this, and there are certain things and certain aspects of this case that they're required to disclose.
Exactly. All right, Marissa, enjoy your dinner.
I love you, babe. I'm going to go too.
Okay.
All right, guys. I love you.
Thank you, Betty. Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye. Thank you so much, Betty, for coming up. Thank you, Marissa. If anyone wants to call in, I will unleash the phone lines again there. It's 307-228-4906. You're welcome to call in if you want to speak about it. The early hours could be after Danny left for work. No, because what I believe they are alleging in this indictment is she's saying that Danny had left and the indictment is saying that she left before Danny did. 254.
Hey, Justin.
Hey.
I had a comment I wanted to make about this business, this case.
Sure.
I actually agreed with Betty for once on what she said about Danny.
What?
You know, I feel like Danny, come on, he was there.
Yeah.
He was there. He had to hear the child screaming. Unless she killed him with the first stroke, you know, of whatever she used.
Yeah.
He had to hear the child screaming. And why didn't he try to stop her? Why didn't he do something?
Yeah, I mean,
He could have said, listen, you're out of control, and got her, got a hold of her. He could have called 911. He could have took Quentin immediately and said, listen, and took him down to the babysitter for safekeeping.
Yeah.
I mean, there's many things he could have done.
Yeah, I feel like she probably started beating the child, and I feel like the child Quentin would have, started crying really loud, and then it probably just progressed in her rage.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, the second she started beating him, why didn't Danny stop it? Why didn't Danny step in and try to protect that child?
Yeah.
There was nobody else there to do it.
Yeah.
And he's a grown man, and I feel like he should have done something.
Yeah, I mean, and again, unless, if he knew that this was going on, of course he should have done something. Now, if he was asleep or he was in, the other part of the house, like in the back there, maybe he couldn't have heard it there. But I don't know. I think, we've seen bruises all over these kids. There's one of Zane that, I think I've showed it. Betty has showed it. It looks like they're in a hotel room or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just terrible, terrible.
Well, you know, I've seen plenty of criminal shows and stuff, and the way a lot of those cases work, and you've seen it too, is the first one who tells the story.
Yep.
Now, if he said, I know what happened, and I'll tell you what you want to know, but I want immunity in this deal.
Yep.
I want immunity. So he went ahead and told his story that got immunity, even though he was guilty too. And the whole thing is about Billy Joe, I'm just saying they shouldn't have been there, period. She had to actually go and get an eviction with those two. And, you know, and he still wouldn't leave.
It's not
even though they
just
were
a
being
gift.
evicted. So why didn't he leave? He stayed there anyway. This is a grown man. Why didn't he go?
Yeah. See,
Why did he stay there and wait for them to come make him leave? So I'm sorry about all this, and I'm not saying he's 100% responsible. I don't know if both of them was in there doing drugs and their eyeballs are rolling around their heads or what. But to me, he should have done something. Because let's not forget, he's the one that called the babysitter, right? And said,
allegedly,
we're not bringing the kids.
Allegedly,
Yeah,
but
we're not bringing
in
the
my
kids
opinion, it was his phone. But in my opinion, Leilani probably did send that.
Well, didn't he think it was odd? I mean, wouldn't he have said, hey, Leilani, why are you keeping the kids? I mean, come on.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
I don't agree with
I don't
any
know.
of this.
I know, it's crazy.
But that's probably what I'm guessing happened. Can't say for a fact. It's just in my opinion that he cut some kind of deal with them. You know, I'll tell you what happened. But, you know, if I get immunity.
We'll see.
That's what I think.
Time will tell. Well, thank you.
Otherwise, you know, if you're there and you see someone in the commission of a crime and you're standing right there and they hit somebody or they kill somebody, you're an accessory.
Yep. It'll all come out in the
You're
wash.
automatically an accessory to murder.
Yes.
Just like when Dolly was that woman with the bullhorn crap. If he would have, you didn't know what he was going to do. He could have walked up there and knocked her in the face with his fist, and she could have died.
True.
And everybody standing there would have been accessory to murder.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them. Because they stood right there watching it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, thank you.
just can't play around with this stuff.
That's true. That's
But
true.
I just want to know why. And then the part that he left and left his own child there. Now, why did
The
he
baby.
leave and leave his own baby there?
Yeah.
If you really think your baby mama did something
Yeah.
like that,
And that's true. Paul was there as well.
why would you leave your baby there?
Paul was there as well. Hey, dear, I'm getting a bunch of calls, so thank you so much for
All
calling.
right.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye. Well, and then I call it. I was getting beeps, but so, Paul was there as well. They had the 3-month-old baby there. 210, thank you for calling.
Hello, Justin.
Hello.
Justin, I was thinking about something. First of all, you do wonderful work. I love you
Oh,
and God
thank
bless
you.
you and your family.
Thank you.
I was looking at a show today, and they had when they were interviewing Leilani and her mother. Have you noticed how when Leilani's saying she'll turn herself in and whatnot, have you noticed the way that her mother looks at her?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well,
You're lying.
Well,
But she couldn't do anything about it.
how often do you hear a mother say, if I find out I had something to do with it, I will take myself down to the police station? What?
Exactly.
I mean, if your child is missing, you're going to be like, I want to know where my kid is. Who has my kid? I know I didn't do nothing. Someone took this kid or kidnapped this kid or he's missing somewhere. You're not going to say, if I find out I did something. I mean, that.
I have two sons. One of them, when he was little, he decided he was gonna go sell watermelon with his truck. So we selling watermelon. There was a small area where we lived, but just in those like 5 minutes, 7 minutes, I was running down the street like a crazy woman with my flip flops on my hands, and his little light complected. But I tell you, God, he was scared when he saw me. He turned red. The most important thing is that I found him, and thank God. And that could have not turned out the way it did either.
Yeah.
So I really compliment you on your work. You're a beautiful person. I love your soul, the way you just share your heart, and the way I saw the way you reacted when you found out about her hitting him or getting to him with an object. You look like you were so heartbroken, and I just felt bad for him. I feel bad for you. You're a very good person, Justin. God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you for the kind words. God bless you and
Merry
yours.
Christmas.
You too, honey. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
402, thank you for calling.
Hi, Justin. This is Bobby.
Hey, Bobby.
So many people are assuming that, Danny knew or Danny could have heard something. One thing we have to remember is he could have initially hit him so hard that it knocked him unconscious.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there possibly was not even any blood. So Danny did think that he was sleeping when he said that the last time he seen him was sleeping in the playpen.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to remember that not all accused are we going to hear bloody screams, especially with a child if there was blunt force trauma to the head.
To me, it sounds like she, in my opinion, admitted that she hit him with something. Because after him being in the landfill for that long, how are you going to know?
Right. that, that was just my opinion, and maybe Danny does know something, but I don't know. Something just tells me that, he really doesn't or didn't witness it at least. But
Yeah.
thank you for your time, Justin, and thank you for everything you do. I appreciate your hard work.
Well, I appreciate you, and I value your opinion, and I think you could possibly very well be right about that.
You have a good evening.
You too. Thank you. 587.
Hi, Justin.
Hello.
I'm calling from Canada.
Hey,
I
Canada.
just want to let you know the fabulous job you guys did.
Oh, thank you.
Also, when Billy Joe goes to trial, is she going to get brought up on all these lies she told?
Could you repeat that? Speak up a little bit.
Yes, and when Billy Joe goes to trial, will she be brought up on all the lies she told too? She'll have more than 14.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if she's, which I'm sure she will be a witness, the prosecutors could, call out some things. Now, if she happens to be charged with anything, that's a whole different story, obviously. But,
Well, I hope they do. I hope they find her guilty of something.
yeah, I mean,
She doesn't deserve to be sitting at home for Christmas. That little boy is.
that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Anyway, you have a good night.
Thank you, my love.
Your hard work.
Appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. 912, thank you for calling. Yes, honey. Can you turn off the computer, the TV, and just talk to me in the phone, please? It's a delay.
I'm sorry, I did not. I'm sorry, I apologize.
It's okay.
I just want to say that I am from Savannah, Georgia. First of all, how you doing?
Good. How are you, my love? Thank you.
I'm doing great.
Good.
I live here in Savannah, Georgia, and I just want to say that we already knew that she already did it. Because one thing about it here, if a child's gone missing, there would have been an Amber Alert. There was no car. There was no missing person who took them. So we already knew that she have done it. I have to give, honest to God, credit to law enforcement and the FBI and everybody who's out there in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
That is a devastating job.
Absolutely.
I believe they had evidence, but I think they needed more evidence to make sure that this case stuck. And I honestly believe they want to find this baby's body.
Oh my God. I mean, absolutely. I mean, there was statistically a less than a 5% chance of them finding Quentin, and they didn't stop. And I mean,
they didn't give up.
all praises go to them for that, in my opinion, as well.
It really does. And honestly, people play crazy. It's 2022. People play crazy. You have a lot of cases that people have dumped bodies in landfills and they've never been found. I honestly believe that she did it. Maybe why Danny was. I don't think Danny has anything to do with it. In my heart, if he did, law enforcement would have arrested him already, along with everybody else.
Yeah.
And as far as the mother goes, it needs to be an eye opener to other people out there who feels like if you're giving custody of a child for a certain reason, you need to protect that child by all means necessary.
Amen.
By you selling that child, you deserve to be locked up as well. There's no, well, it's me, and oh my God, I didn't know, because you knew. You had to go through the court. So I don't feel sorry for either one of them.
Me either.
But I don't believe that she should get the death penalty.
Leilani?
I feel like, I don't feel like it, because I feel like that's like a cheap escape out. Well, I'm gonna die anyway, so what up? I think she needs to really suffer and really think about her consequences, and either she can move on and forgive herself or take it to her grave.
Like, I believe in like a hybrid of the two. Like, let him sit in there for 35 years and then give him death. You know what I mean?
If they don't already, I mean to laugh about this, but but if they're not already gone by then,
Mhm.
let God be the judgment of that. But I just personally feel like, I was out there protesting. Yes, there was partying, things I didn't understand, but I really truly believe law enforcement wanted this case to stick, and they wanted all the evidence that they have to make it, go to trial and have a long time. So thank you for taking my
Thank
call.
you. I love the prosecutor too. She's phenomenal.
Yeah, I wanted to know what judge said that Billy Joe can write a letter to.
Well, the judge that she was in front of the other day, the judge wanted her to write a letter back to the judge of, apologizing for being disobedient. I can't think of the name right now in court. So that's what that was about.
Okay, but let's not her get out just yet.
No, she's in there till at least the 23rd.
I'm sorry,
She's in there till at least December 23rd.
December 23rd.
Mhm.
Okay, then. Well, thank you for that information.
No problem. Thank you. Call back soon, please.
Yes, happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Bye-bye. 470. Thank you for calling.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, I'm trying to mute my TV. It's not working. Oh, gosh. Okay, so my thought on this was Danny and the brother not hearing anything. Do you think since she left at night, maybe she took Quentin with her and did what she did and then brought him back home?
I think it happened at home because I think when they closed off the window, they probably found blood. So what I think happened was I don't know if she did this while she may have been withdrawing on drugs, and then she did
She don't look
something.
like she ever withdrawal from anything.
Well, I don't know, or after she got the drugs, but she went that night to get drugs. She met the drug dealer. She came back, and then she left again in the very early morning hours, and then went to the dump. And what is interesting to me is the dumpster. I think I have it on film now that I was thinking about it when I was talking to Betty earlier. There's a dumpster in the very front of the trailer park.
Yeah, that dumpster looked like maybe they were cleaning a trailer out is why it was there, not like the ones that y'all took video of, all the green ones or whatever.
Yeah, I think this one is like in the very front of the trailer park, which to me is more, I would think she would have dumped it to the one where they were all in a line. But I don't know.
Way in the back and realized I see her, but I guess if it was dark, she didn't think anybody would see her anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had one more point I wanted to make, and then I'll let you go.
Sure.
But I've heard that with Billy Joe, if she gets neglect charges, it wouldn't be until after Leilani is gone through court and has her punishments or whatever. They have to see how things go with Leilani maybe before they could charge Billy Joe with neglect.
I mean, I think it would help. They don't have to.
Or maybe that's why they're holding off.
They don't have to wait, but it helps prove even further.
Build the case even more.
Yeah, yeah, is what so that is true. They can wait until Billy Joe has been sentenced, or not Billy Joe, pardon me, Leilani has been sentenced, and then go after it. Sure.
Right. Okay. Well, that's what I wanted to call it today. I'll let you get back to it.
Thank you, my dear. Appreciate you. Bye bye. Dr. Fluffer, thank you. Why did the DA say Quentin was 2 years old? I thought he was 4. No, Quentin was 20 months. He was actually less than 2. 312, thank you for calling.
Hi, Miss Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, it's Sonia P. How are you doing?
Hey, Sonia. Good. How are you, dear?
I'm doing good. Am I on live?
You are live and on location.
I just want to say thank you for sharing that. I saw the pain in your face reading what happened to Quinn. I was like, I knew you wanted to cry. I wanted to cry. We all wanted to cry. That was the saddest thing to hear what really happened. We know she was responsible, but hearing that was very, very tough.
It was.
A couple of things. Yeah, I absolutely love that prosecutor. Love her.
Yeah.
She is not going to sleep until that woman is put away for the mask. And there is a death penalty, and she needs to get it. So I'm glad CJ went away too.
Yep.
She deserves responsibility. You do not neglect a child in that way.
That's
You
right.
just don't. When you take responsibility for a child, you protect that child with your life.
That's right.
And she.
Well, even if the child is not blood related, and you feel that child is in danger, and you don't report it, and they can prove that you knew that child that you knew that child was in danger, you can get in trouble. Like any of us can get in trouble, especially mandated reporters.
The babysitter was sending those emails or those texts with the pictures, trying to tell her, and she ignored it.
Correct.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we should all go there when Dolly has his trial, though, and protest. I hope he doesn't have to go to jail for that. That would be awful.
I think it'll be thrown out. I think it's a very good likelihood that it's going to be thrown out.
I hope so.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Justin.
Thank you for calling. Appreciate you. Bye-bye. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, Quentin was not even 2 years old yet. Zane, I don't Zane was like 4 or 5, wasn't he? 254. Thank you for calling.
Hey, Justin.
Hey.
Let me run this by you.
Okay.
About Danny.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Danny didn't know anything about what happened, how come when he called the babysitter or whatever and said, have you seen Quentin? And then she went down there with the daughter, remember? And she's like, what do you mean you don't know where he is? And they offered to help to look for him, remember?
You mean when they called and they said
yeah, the babysitter said her and her daughter went down there, and they went down to the house and asked them, well, maybe let us help you look. We'll help you look. Maybe he's in a closet or something. And she said Danny gave her sort of a go to hell look or whatever, and they refused to let them look.
Mm-hmm.
Said no, we don't need your help.
Right. I think
So that seems kind of odd,
I
too.
think
So I think it's just kind of funny about Danny.
I mean, yeah, if Danny, I think Leilani ruled that ship probably personally, but I don't know. It's
Because if he really thought the baby was missing, right? He would have said, yeah, we can use all the help we can get. Oh my God. No, that's not the reaction they got.
you would think, but
Yeah, you would think.
they didn't want them
he's not
in
a
the
kid.
Yes, they did not want them in the house. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought I'd run that by you.
That's a good point.
Get back to your call.
It's a good
Okay,
point.
bye.
Thank you, my dear. Appreciate you. Guys, thank you for the super chats and the memberships. Thank you. We would like to welcome Princess to the Justin for All family now. Appreciate you, Princess. Welcome aboard. Appreciate you. Everyone welcome. And I know I missed a couple earlier when Betty and Marissa was up there. So thank you all who became a member and the super chats. I appreciate it. Yes, we do need law enforcement, and I mean, everywhere across America right now, law enforcement is hiring, and they're really lacking officers in Chatham County as well. 770, thank you for calling.
Hey, Justin, it's Kim.
Hey, Kim.
sorry, I had surgery this morning.
Oh,
But
honey.
I wanted to tell you yesterday when I put it in your chat that Billy Joe had been arrested. I vetted that first before I threw it out there.
Oh, that's
So
a,
when that was my comment that you questioned about. I swear I wouldn't do that to you, Justin.
I know, honey. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sometimes people will come in and they'll be like, they'll say like, oh, well, this creator's streaming you, or this creator, and you'll go over there and they're not, or they'll make up, they'll try to like derail your chat. And I'm not saying that's what you was trying to do or anything, but I was shocked. Actually, I was like, that's too good to be true, but you're
I
right.
know. I was shocked too, but it pops up on all three of our news channels. So, I hopped right on over to check before I even said anything to you. But I just wanted to apologize for derailing your trip.
No, honey. Don't you worry about it. No. I thank you. Thank you for telling me. Really. Because literally after you said that and I said that, my computer went boom, boom, boom like that. I got all kinds of notifications, Billy Joe Howe in jail, I'm like, what? So no, I hope you recover quickly and feel better. I know surgery sucks. I've had a few in my time, and it hurts to breathe, even when you're first getting out of surgery. So
Yeah, but I couldn't let it go. I wanted to, apologize that.
no, don't you worry about it.
Promise to you, I would not do that.
No,
to
honey,
you.
I
So,
appreciate you, and I apologize on my part
You're
if I
fine.
like that. So, but
No, you're fine because it's happened you probably so many times. I get it, but
yeah.
you know,
Well,
yeah.
thank you so much for calling, and you get some rest, and just sit back and watch some YouTube while you heal.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, darling.
Bye.
Good night. Bye-bye. Yeah, sometimes people, they'll literally just try to derail your chat. They'll be like, they'll say something that's not even remotely true. And you just don't want like a rumor that she's in jail and she really wasn't, you know what I mean? So that's 662. Thank you for calling.
Hey, my dear.
Hello, my dear.
Camille.
I know who this is.
I am so thrilled that things are moving finally.
Me too.
But I'm saddened, with the details, which I know that was going to be the case. But I just wanted to call and thank you and everybody that went, and for us that couldn't go, you took our voices with you, and I feel like it made a difference. And I believe now, and I will always believe, Clinton was born to be a hero. He saved his brother and his sister.
Yeah.
And now he's playing on the cat clouds and kicking around the stars and having the best time in the best place. So
he's in a place where there's
to take that. Yeah, he's no longer here, no longer being hurt, and he's more than likely saved his sister and brother, because when she's coming down off something again, or whatever, a baby cries, and it doesn't stop immediately when you want it to. Who knows? Who knows? She could have shook the baby and killed the baby, in my opinion. I'm not saying, I'm not,
well,
I'm just saying.
And we have to remember, she had a 3-month-old.
Right.
She had a 3-month-old, a less than 2-year-old, and then how old was Zane? 4?
Like 4 or 5. I don't think he was 5.
Yeah, he wasn't 5 yet. Maybe 3. He was 3 or 4, I think. But very back to back to back, and I get it. Sometimes if you're tired, and some people are saying 3, some people are saying 4. But you can't hurt a kid. That's the thing. Listen,
Right.
if you're tired or whatever, put them in a room for a minute. Put them in their crib. Let them cry for a minute. If you feel like you're going to do something, you know what I mean.
Right.
Crying is not going to hurt them in a crib.
Right.
But don't put your hands on these children.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean,
And
I had twins. I was like both arms,
I've been here. I didn't want you to think I've gone anywhere. I'm dealing with some family issues. My father is sick.
Oh,
And
Camille,
my
I'm sorry.
stepmother doesn't want me to see him, even if we go to Texas. She's always had issues, but I'm not going to make this about me. But I did want to say thank you to the community because I have had so much support and text and people praying for me. And I'm just thankful for this group of people that you have brought together.
Wow, we got a great group of
I just
people.
dropped in to chat to donate some memberships and
Oh,
some
honey,
money
thank you.
because this place is amazing.
Oh,
Just
well,
what you have brought together is amazing, Justin, and it's you. It's you that brought it together.
you're very
And you're
kind.
why we're here.
Thank you, honey. That's very kind of you. If you need anything day or night or day, I'm here. And I mean it. I don't just say that, I mean it. Okay?
All right. Well, thank you so much, and I love you guys.
Love you too, honey. God bless you. Thank you
All
for
right.
everything.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's our beloved Camille. Sweet, sweet, sweet soul. Share Bear, the DA, she is beautiful inside and out. I agree with that. I think the public should be behind her 1,000%. And I would like to just send her a card even and just give her some gratitude, 904, thank you for calling.
Hi,
Hello.
my name's Kathy.
Hey, Kathy.
And I'm calling from Florida. And I have been thinking about this ever since this case has broke.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Joe had filed a eviction notice.
Correct.
For Leilani, Danny, and the boys
Correct.
were named on it.
Uh-huh.
How can she evict her own boys that she had custody of?
I wondered the same thing. I've thought about that myself. I don't remember when it was filed. It wasn't very long.
When the story first broke, when she was there
Mhm.
with her husband
Yeah.
talking, Lonnie does Leilani
Yeah.
does this and that. And then it came out that she had evicted them because they damaged her house. And the boys were named too. And she had custody of the boys. How can she evict her own
Kids,
grandkids when she had
technically.
custody?
Yeah. Yeah. And that makes you wonder.
The kid needs to be brought up and investigated on.
Yeah, I mean, why did you want the kids out whenever you were literally adopting them? You had adoption papers in,
Yeah.
in fact, the adoption, from what I understand, went through the day after Quentin disappeared, when it was finalized.
She needs to be investigated for that, for evicting her
Yeah.
ward to the court, so to say.
And that just shows you, in my opinion, that he wasn't wanted by anyone.
It's so sad.
It's very sad because, I
And
mean,
he looks like Leilani.
he looks just like
I
Leilani.
call him
Yeah. Yeah.
Leilani.
Yeah.
But that's all she's got charged with is a whole bunch of lies, plus
Yeah.
the murder.
That's exactly right. But,
I just wanted to get that off my chest, and because I've been thinking about it for a long time.
I've thought about that myself. I really have. And I it makes you wonder, well, you put the kids on the eviction, but yet you're supposed to be taking care of them and adopting them.
To kick him out, you know?
Right. And yet you still put them on the papers. I mean, it's like grandma didn't want the kids and Leilani didn't want the kids. And this is the thing. It's all over this country, all over this world. This is not just an one singular, it's everywhere. It's in every neighborhood for that matter.
And sometimes it's worse than what you even know about.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes better left unknown.
Yeah. Princess,
Okay.
she did not have custody of the 3-month-old. That I can tell you for sure.
No.
And
Just the boys were named on the eviction notice.
correct. And second of all, even if she did have custody, why did she put Leilani, what's his name? I can't even think of his name right now. Leilani's man, Danny, and the kids. Why did she put them on the eviction? Why did she put the kids on the eviction if she had custody? It doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Does not make sense. So, thank you so much for calling. I think we should ask more questions about that. I agree. So I'll try to figure something out.
But that hasn't been brought up at all anywhere that I've heard. That's not been brought up about her evicting those babies.
I wondered the same exact thing. Same thing. All right, dear. I'm
Okay.
getting more calls. Thank you for calling.
Alrighty.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
254. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, about that eviction notice.
Mhm.
I don't think that the two boys were on there. I think it was just Danny and his little family there.
No.
The baby, the youngest one. Well, if you get time later to pull that up,
I've got
I
it.
would like to see that.
I can pull it up.
I would like to see that
Yeah, I've got it.
because I don't think that's what it said.
I'm gonna.
Because she had custody of him, or was it because she didn't have custody yet?
Well, it wasn't very far in the in the scheme of things. Just a month or so, I think it was. I mean, so it wasn't that long.
Right. But when you were reading the indictment, and it said in there about how she supposedly went to meet her drug dealer
Mm-hmm.
to pay a debt.
Mm-hmm.
So if she went to pay her drug bill, maybe that's what enraged her. Because, he wanted the money. Maybe she didn't have all the money. Maybe she wanted more, and he said, no, not you give me the money. And she came home in a rage. But she wanted the drugs. I mean, this is just a scenario I'm coming up here with.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, and maybe Quentin wouldn't go to sleep. Maybe he woke up because she was mad. Was slamming things around, who knows? And then, he wouldn't be quiet. And I don't know. I'm guessing here. I'm guessing. But another thing I wanted to bring up before we hang up
Mm-hmm.
about Cher.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true that she went on court TV?
Yeah, she was on court TV. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I didn't see it. Ellie B was talking about it on her chat today.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, yeah, and that Cher said she was the family spokesperson. And I'm like, what? She's the family spokesperson?
Nothing would surprise me.
And I'm like, well, who the hell is going to put Cher in charge of anything? I'm just saying.
Well, I think I knew they were
Just saying.
calling her, a friend of the family, right?
But Ellie B said the family spokesperson. I couldn't help. I started laughing. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I mean,
It's certainly interesting.
it's ridiculous that she says she's still going up there.
Well,
She's still going.
have fun.
And she might be there for the, what she calls the memorial, whatever.
And I'm like, and you're still going. And Cher is not doing anything but getting her in worse trouble than she's already in. And she's going to continue to do so.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering if, I don't have any of those earbuds, but can you go to the next room, or how far can you go from your phone that you could still, like, talk to somebody on your phone or they can hear you? How far?
You can go like 25, 30 feet probably.
I'm just wondering, I'm not saying it's true, it's just I'm wondering, was Cher in the earbud? Listening in, recording?
I don't
You
know. Who knows? Who knows? That's, we can't really
Audio
speculate on
for
it.
her chat.
Yeah, we can't.
Audio for her chat. Because she did the same thing with Dawn. She recorded all the phone calls.
Yeah, yeah,
And that idiot would still go back for more.
yeah,
And I'm like, don't you realize what these people are doing?
yeah.
Anyway, it's just,
It's crazy.
I was like, family spokesperson. Now I've heard everything now.
Exactly, exactly. Well, thank you so much for calling, dear. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, I was looking for that eviction notice. If is ICU still in here? If she is, I was just I don't know what we have it under, what it's filed under. We got so many things filed under Quentin Simon. It's crazy. But I think it says her 3 kids on that document. That's not it. If I'm correct, it's got something to the effect of like the 3 kids or something. And she is the one getting Billy into. Yeah, well, I mean, if I was Billy Joe after she gets out of jail, she should not say a peep. Not a peep, because she can get in trouble. I mean, the way, Cher was talking the other day, that she couldn't even look in the direction of Billy or Leilani. I don't know if it's the hand written. Well, I mean, she's got it. It's a formal document, but it's got her request on it. I agree, Diane. What is posted on Facebook looks like her DA was arrested. What do you mean, Becca? Did you post it in my Justice for All? Did you post it in the Justice for All group on Facebook? Actually, the DA, she's just great. She really is. Let's see if WTOC has anything. Okay, here we go. Let's look at this.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike C.
And I'm Dawn Baker. Just hours ago, we learned the charges being brought down against Leilani Simon by the Chatham County District Attorney in the death of that little boy. WTOC's Alyssa Jackson was at the DA's news conference this afternoon.
She joins us now live in front of the Chatham County Courthouse. Alyssa, what happened at that press conference?
Hey guys, well, we are learning more about the indictment against Leilani Simon that came down early this morning. District Attorney Shalina Cook-Jones was telling us about the indictments in the indictment in this case, including the 19 charges against her, including malice murder, felony murder, and a number of other charges, including making false statements. She told us that this case it's hard to sleep at night thinking of a little boy being harmed in any way. But especially in this case where so many people have been watching and have made an attachment to Quentin Simon, it's also hard to prosecute and get that evidence in front of you and see what could have happened to Quentin. Now, we know that she said that this case is of grave importance to her office. And they won't be answering a lot of questions because there's a lot of evidence that's going to be coming out, but they don't want to reveal any underlying circumstances or facts. She told us they want to make sure that this case is solid. That means that they are trying to not keep it, they're trying to keep it in the public eye, but they're not trying to hide anything. That just means that they're trying to make sure that all of the evidence stays where it needs to be. And she told us just maybe about an hour ago what their office is trying to do to make sure that happens.
Not revealing this evidence also ensures that the criminal proceeding remain fair,
Love this woman.
just, untainted, and that this case is not tried in the
Everyone needs to stand very close to her and support her.
court of public opinion, but is resolved in a court of law.
Now, she also said if this case goes to trial, she wants it heard from jurors in this community, from this community. She wants it tried here in Chatham County. And that's what's keeping her going in pursuing this case, she told us, is just the fact that this baby, Quentin Simon, who was just 2 years old, deserves justice. As I mentioned before, so many people have made an attachment to this case, and District Attorney Shalina Cook-Jones made it clear that she's also one of those people. Now, Max Dieknight is in the studio now. He has actually been going through this 8-page indictment. Max, what were you able to pull out of the biggest takeaways from this?
Yeah, hey, Alyssa, there's a lot to unpack from this 19-count indictment. Let's look at a few of the main points that we think people will be very interested to learn tonight. Here's a detail we've all been waiting for. Under count 2, that's felony murder, the indictment says specifically that Leilani assaulted her.
I've got it in bigger text now, but I'm glad that they made it in a bigger text. I had to pause it for a second.
Son with an object resulting in serious bodily injury, which caused his death, meaning this was not an accidental death. The indictment does not say, though, what kind of an object that may have been. Under count 4, concealing the death of another, it says Leilani put Quentin's body in a dumpster at the Azalea Mobile Home Plaza in Chatham County, close to her house. The indictment later says Leilani falsely claimed she was just throwing away, quote, normal household garbage. And listen to this detail. Under a separate.
What's so interesting to me is why would you go down the road in the early morning hours to throw stuff in a dumpster when you can walk out to your curb and put your trash there? Yeah, please do not mention any other creators in chat other than, our group. Let's continue.
Separate charge of making a false statement. This indictment says that Leilani admitted that she left her home to meet up with her drug dealer. This just hours before she's accused of putting her son's body in a.
I wonder if that drug dealer is going to get in trouble. Like, I wonder if Leilani ratted that drug dealer out. It wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me.
Dumpster. She reported him missing just hours later that morning. Again, Leilani is charged with 3 counts of murder. Chatham County District Attorney Shalina Cook-Jones explains why.
Prosecutors often develop different theories of a case and how a murder may or may not have occurred. It is not uncommon for us in murder cases, and you'll see this in our other indictments, to charge murder in a number of different ways. And as I said, as the evidence continues to evolve in this case and we get closer to trial, should we get there, we'll have more information about if any additional murder charges need to be filed or if they need to be changed in any way.
And I asked Jones if she feels confident in the evidence her office has. Dawn and Mike, she told me, quote, absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Max. We have, of course, been covering this case since little Quentin first went missing in October. You can read our previous stories, including investigations into.
I think, I mean, look at these two. They look so much alike. They look so much alike. I think she wanted to either get back at Bubba or Billy Joe. I mean, I can't help but think that that is this is, you know, one that I really feel, you know, there's rumors of the two, Billy Joe and Bubba, having kind of a physical relationship that is alleged. Of course, we don't know that. It's nobody's ever, you know, I'm sure neither one of them would ever say that out loud. But, and then I think whenever her having to pay child support, I think that is when it pushed over the edge. And Sandy Drink, if you could text something, I would, or if you could put something in chat, I can fix that. Okay, there we go. Got it. I got it. There we go. Perfect. So yeah, I don't know what Becca, I don't know exactly what you mean. And I also want to thank
I think we got a super chat. I think we got a super chat.
Someone just sent a Cash App, and thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. We are going down to Florida the day after Christmas, so I can thank you, Julie Lead, and thank you, Kathleen. I appreciate it very much. Could definitely use it right now, so thank you. I do appreciate your support for the channel. It means a lot, and thank you to all the members, the mods, and all of that. And Ivory, you're exactly right. There is no punishment that will ever amount to a life. You know, even death is not really good enough, because this is a child that could have lived 100 years and did great things, but it was taken, and you can never return a life. So, you know, there's only so much justice you can get when someone is a life is taken. A funeral memorial for him, I don't know. They got to do it sooner. You know, I don't know if there has been any sort of funeral or memorial. I mean, yeah, Ellie, I don't know. Yeah, Billy Joe is supposed to be out December 23rd, from what I understand. So, Okay, guys. I was planning on going live with the Idaho case today. I have been literally up days, trying to research. There's a lot coming out. I do believe, in my opinion, there will be an arrest before Christmas. Hopefully, even a lot sooner than that. But things are starting to, it feels like things are finally starting to move a little bit on the Idaho 4 case. Thank you so much, KW. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you for your patronage.
Thank you for your patronage. Thank you. Thank you. You're very kind. I appreciate it so much. God bless each and every one of you guys. If I have time, if we get the homework and everything done this evening in time, I will come back 10ish or so with the Idaho 4 case. If not, I will be live first thing in the morning, unless something like breaks really quickly. Then I'll be live at any time for that. As it comes in, of course. So I'm going to go to sleep for about 12 hours, I think, Jerry. I'll get you some rest. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate it. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you for your patronage.
Thank you for your patronage. So thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. She could be facing capital punishment. Yes. Georgia does have the death. So we're just going to have to see. She's facing serious charges. Hey, 50, good to see you, honey. Appreciate you. So God bless each and every one of you. Crypt Keeper is helping with funeral for Quentin, and she said she picked the casket out. That's great. Good for her. She'll be down there probably whenever she said she was going. All right, guys, much love to each and every one of you. Justice for Quentin, and it looks like justice is taking place. As much justice as we can get, at least. Yes, and we need justice for the Idaho 4 as well. I do believe things are moving. And they are getting things back from the lab. It has been, what was it, a month yesterday? Thank you, Charlotte's Webbing. I appreciate it. All right, guys. So I will see you guys a little later, maybe this evening. If not, I will be live at 10 or 11 in the morning. Love you all. Much love. God bless. Bye-bye.